Okay. Okay. Who will do the Prarthana Shloka?
Sir, can I do it?
Yes, Shriyan, you can do it.
Okay, sir. Sir, can I start in another 2 minutes?
Sorry?
Sir, can I start in another 2 minutes?
Can you start?
In another 2 minutes.
Another 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
You need 2 minutes, 2 more minutes, is it?
Yes, sir. Just 1 minute. Enough.
Okay, sure. Hello, Shriyam Chini. Hello, Shriyan.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः.
Thank you. Very good. Okay. We were discussing a few things from the previous class, and then we came to this the class on Friday, Tuesday last. Then we had a session on a bit of one more session on meditation, and then there was one session by Pooja Madam, and then here we are today. Okay, so we discussed a few things about karma. We also discussed how karma, how atma, the law of conservation of what we called atma, right? Atma can neither be created nor be destroyed. They can only be transformed, right? This much we all discussed, correct? Okay, then we also discussed some stories and there were some questions around it. Who is God? What is God? Namaste, Meeraji.
Namaste.
You want to do the session today or on Friday? You want to do the session? Please take over.
No, you can do it, Karthik ji. No problem. I will take on Friday.
Okay, as you say, as you deem fit. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm okay otherwise.
Okay, that's fine. No, if you're prepared, if you want to do it, I have no issues. You can continue.
No, you take it because I thought I'll make some slides for Trataka. So
Okay.
maybe we will do that for Friday.
Fantastic. Sure.
Yeah, we'll do a meditation session with Trataka.
Okay.
And you also said that in Taittiriya Upanishad you were going to chant.
Correct. Yeah.
So please, we can chant that and then start off with meditation next class.
Fantastic. Sure. We'll do that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problems. You can stay over and help me with the class as well if you want.
No problem. I'll stay for some time.
Sure. Okay. So what we were discussing was pretty much about the law of conservation of Atma. Then we discussed about karma. We discussed about how things move and what are the brownie points that we get. How do we get the brownie points? The intrinsic brownie point versus extrinsic brownie points. What is there within? What is there without? Some of these things we were discussing. Correct? Now, what I want to do is, first of all, a few questions had come up, right? So can we sort of get back to those questions? So we'll start with Shriyan. You had some question.
Sir, I didn't understand, sir.
Did you have a question last time?
No, sir.
No, you did not have any question. Let's go back. I have the list of questions with me. Okay. Let me pull up those questions and we'll start from there. Yes, Pranav, you have a question? Pranav, Athar? Nothing? Okay. So we started with what is life? Who asked that question?
Me. Friends,
Why is it difficult to concentrate on one particular thing? Who was that who asked that question? Right? So that was, did you ask that Pranav? Where is Pranav? Pranav disappeared. Okay. Athar had one question. What was that?
Sir, which question, sir? The first one, sir.
Benefits. How do I get material benefits and tangible? What are the benefits of doing something good? Or reading Bhagavad Gita, for instance. Correct? Then Sri Hamsini had the question, Mahabharata versus Ramayana.
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. I was doing my assignment.
You are doing your assignment. Are you still busy with it?
Sir, 2 minutes.
Okay, you'll finish your assignment and come back. Okay, finish it. Take your time. Fine. We'll start with a question, very simple question called, what is life? We spoke about Atma quite a bit. We said karma, right? There is so much of karma. Then, there is something called karma, and then there is something called Atma. The Atma is not destroyed. We discussed that much. Okay. Then what is this whole business of life? Why is there, if there's nothing, if it is not destroyed, then it should be always there though? Why is this something called life? What is this whole business called life, and what is this business called death? Important question. Shriyan had asked this question. Correct, no? Yeah. Yeah. Today's discussion will be all around that. Okay. Let's take this one. Okay. Athar, do you want to try answering what is this whole thing called life? No, you don't want to try that. Okay. Shriyan, you want to just make an wild attempt of what is life?
Sir, life is a combination of Atma and what is that? Karma. That is my point of view, sir. What I am trying to guess is that.
Okay, so life is a combination of Atma and Karma. Okay, this is one interesting aspect. What I will do, I will show you something. Let us see what happens. We spoke about the good points that we gain in one life. Right? What were those? Can you recollect what that was?
Sir, we have to do good deeds so that we get good karma.
Okay.
And also we should not speak rude to anyone or do any bad deeds to lead a good life.
Okay. So, give me a minute. Yeah, here it is. Here. Give me 1 minute. I'm just pulling up a slide so that I can show this to you. What is life? Okay, here I am. Okay. Now, we said there is something called intrinsic value that we get out of any action that we do, whether we choose to do it or not choose to do it. Then there is an extrinsic value that we get. Even for instance, we also said that if you're just sitting, that also does not mean that you are not doing any action. That is also an action, right? That is also something that we discussed, right? Once you are done with that, then the result of just sitting and idling away for time is, what will happen?
Sir, we are just wasting time instead of doing other things which are helpful for us.
Correct. You will not get anything out of it. Extrinsically, you will not get anything.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And intrinsically, you will only create a lot of thoughts that are not of much use to you. Right. Now, these thoughts, we also said thoughts are what manifest into words. Words are what manifest into action. Action is what manifests into your character and your intrinsic way of doing things. Is that right? So these thoughts necessarily are going to govern what intrinsic points you are going to get. Okay. Now let's call these intrinsic points as some, we'll name that karma. Okay. Now there are three types of karmas that we will get. Okay. And we said, there is so much of karma that we are getting because of all this. What we do is, at the time of when we are born, we are just dipping something into the bag. We are bringing some karma, which we will call something. Then by the time we have finished everything, we have gained some more karma. We are going and putting it back into some bag. I'll show you that whole cycle for now. What happens? Okay. Adikshit, you had a question last time, correct? You were asking a question at the end of the session last time, before we closed. What was that question? You forgot. Did you forget? Okay, next time, whenever you have a question, you're going to write it down and keep it. All right? Okay. Now we'll come to this point, this concept called karma. I know some of you can't read Devanagari script. That is okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read it out for you. This is called Sanchita Karma. Okay, then what is called Prarabdha Karma. Then what we have, Agami Karma. Sanchita Karma is something that you take it as all the points, good, bad, right, wrong, all the points that you have gained, intrinsic points, not the extrinsic points. Intrinsic points that you have gained, stored in some account. Okay, everything is stored in some account. Let us say there is an account, bank balance. Okay, all of you understand what is the bank balance? There's some money stored there which you can withdraw it whenever you want to use it. Okay, that is called Sanchita Karma. It is all your debits and credits that are stored that need to be exhausted. The idea of any concept, this whole life business, is to exhaust these points, these points, whether they are brownie points or they are good, bad, whatever points you have. Okay, they are accumulated over a lot of time. Okay. Then this is the full tank. This is the full thing that is stored there. What you do is, when the life begins, when the time of birth starts, you go there, you go to the account, you just say, I want to finish some part of this. I'll withdraw something and come. You withdraw that and come. There could be good things, bad things, whatever is there. Okay. Once you come, that gets translated. Whatever you have withdrawn is called the Prarabdha Karma. This is where how you take birth, what happens, how we get into something, all starts with. The idea in this life is to exhaust this whole bag of Prarabdha Karma. Okay. Then there is a concept called what is called agami karma. Whatever you accumulate in this life, if you do good things, you'll accumulate good things, good brownie points and good this one. If you do bad things, you'll accumulate all the bad things and accumulate a lot of debt. Now the whole concept is you need to finish both credit as well as debt. Everybody understands what is credit and debit? What is credit?
Sir, credit means gaining something like taking out money from your credit card, and debit card is like loans. You have a school debt like that.
Right. So let's take it. Let's for the time being, we'll not get into too much of credit debit. What we will call is a loan versus a deposit. Everybody understands what is a loan and what is a deposit. You make some deposit in the bank, you get some interest on that. In this case, you don't get any interest, but you can keep money in the bank. A loan is something that you are borrowing. Correct, no? Let us say it's a 0% interest. Everything is what you are doing is all that is there. Okay. That is what happens. And then when the agami karma is something like what you are getting here. So if you say, call all the good things as your deposits, all the bad things as your loans. Okay. Loan has to be fulfilled. Credit has to be exhausted. All the deposits have to be exhausted. That is what is happening here. Then you go back and put it. So I'll just show you one more picture here. This is your warehouse of all the past karma that is there. The cycle here will depict your life. You're riding a cycle. Let us say from the birth to the death. Okay, you've borrowed something, you've taken something from here, come here. Now, there are three possibilities that can happen by the end of this life. One, you have exhausted this cycle, you have not accumulated anything, and you are free of this. You will go back and whatever is there, that much of it has gone away. Correct? Alternately, you can reduce some part of it and you can reduce this fully. This has to be fully exhausted. That is a given. That is the whole idea of life. Whatever you have brought, you have to finish. That is the rule. The rule of the game is you have to finish whatever you have brought here. You can accumulate a little bit more, which is less than what you had here. That is the second way of doing it. The third thing is you exhaust this, but you gain more than what you have got here, had here. What happens to all this? It will all go back and get accumulated in this warehouse again. So next time you need to be born, you'll bring back everything. Okay, this is the broad idea of what is karma. Okay. Now let's do one simple game. All of you have heard of, so now there is this whole concept. At the time of birth, Sri Amsini was talking a lot about genealogy last time and how you know this one translates and everything comes and how it is all about people take birth are all products of something. So let's go a little bit more into it. Is our life only about that or is it a little more colorful? Let's ask that question. Have you all heard of what is called RGB? What is RGB?
Sir, RGB are lights will change.
RGB are?
Lights will change continuously.
Huh?
Lights will change continuously.
Lights will change continuously. Okay. Athav, you had something to say.
Sir, RGB, red, green, blue.
Red, green, blue. Brilliant. Okay. Addiction. Yes.
Those are basic colors.
Those are the basic colors. What happens when you mix RG and B?
White.
It becomes white.
It becomes white, right? Hamsini and Neil, you're right. So our life is also a form of RGB. It's a mixture of R, G, and B. Okay, what I will do now, let me just pull up, let me pull up an Excel sheet. Yeah, this is easy to work with this. Okay. Now, Okay. Let me do one thing. Everybody can see my screen? I'll take this cell. I'll select this cell. Cell D2. Okay. What I'll do is I'll go to this color. There is a color palette. You see here? Why is it white? Red is 255, green is 255, blue is 255. I can have numbers between 0 and 255 for red, green, and blue. In this case, it is discrete, but let's say it can be continuous as well. Let us just start with what happens if I make this 0. Became blue? Okay, yeah, it's here. Yeah. Now what I make this also 0. I should say okay. It became blue. Let us say I make this also. What will happen if it is all 0?
Sir, it will become black.
It becomes black. See, you see the current color here and the new color is here. Whenever I change this, it changes. And here, this fellow will keep moving. What I'll do, I'll expand this a little for you people to see. Okay, this fellow, this is the marker. Let's start with some number 100, 100, 100. Okay. 100, 100, 100 happens to be, what is this color?
Sir, gray.
Gray.
Gray. 100, 100, 100 happens to be gray. See here. Okay. So let us say this is 50. This becomes, what is this color?
A
Sir, olive,
forest greenish.
olive green.
Orange green. This was perhaps called teal. Is that so?
Sir, olive green, not orange.
Olive green.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, olive green.
Okay. What is this?
Sir, sea blue.
Pea blue. Okay. I make this. What happens now?
Sir, it's like sky blue, almost like sky
It's
blue.
sky blue. Everybody knows what is Vibgyor.
No, sir.
What is Vibgyor?
Colors of the rainbow.
Colors of the rainbow. Who can tell me all the colors?
Red,
Mm,
orange, yellow, green, blue,
mm.
indigo, and violet.
Indigo and violet. Perfect. In that, the three are the primary colors, the others are all auxiliary colors, a mixture of these three. Right? Just now, as we saw, if I make this 0 and make this also 0, and this, say, the maximum it can take is 255, right? It'll be blue. It'll all become blue, fully blue. Similarly, if I make this 0 and make this 255, it'll become fully green. Okay. Similarly, if I make this 0 and make this 255, this is your end. Okay. And from here, I can make a mixed. Now, you all know we can make a mix and match of these colors. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, Adikshit, you have a question?
Sir, what if you make all the colors red, green, blue one?
That is 255. In this case, it will be 255.
No, like we can put any number between.
Yes, you can put any number in between. Let's say I'll put 1. You are saying put 1, 1, 1, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you what happens if I put. See?
How does it?
Because it is 0, 0, 0 is all black. Correct? You're just incremented by 1. If you go to 255, 255, 255, that is the spectrum. Okay? Where you can move on 3 different dimensions. Have you all heard of dimensions?
Yes, sir. Like 3D,
Yes, sir.
2D, and 1D.
Yes, very good. Yes, Shriyan.
Sir, what if we keep all the colors to red, green, and blue to 1000?
You can't do it. In this case, you can't do it. See, okay, let's do it this way. You can't go beyond 255. That is the limitation of this. Okay. But what I can do, as Sriyansini last time pointed out, there are infinite numbers between any two numbers. Okay. I can keep dividing them. In this case, it takes discrete values. But it need not always take discrete values. It can have 1.2, 3.5, 300.
Try in tux paint. It takes values up to 2550.
Yeah, you can do it. You can keep on going like this. This Excel has a limitation up to 256. Okay. But it does not mean there is only 256 is the right number. There are hex values. You can go in between colors. If your eye is sensitive enough to differentiate between the blue, the fine blue that comes, which is between every single point, just like as Adikshit pointed out. Like 000 is also black, 111 is also black. Correct? So if we can keep differentiating this, then it takes a very different route. Okay. So similar to this red, green and blue, our life is also governed by three characteristics, what are called gunas. Anybody heard of gunas?
Satvika guna, rajasika guna, tamasika guna.
Tamasika guna. Very good. Anybody else who has heard of it? No.
Is it like the states of your mind?
States of mind is not a very good definition. What I would say is this is an inherent characteristic of oneself. Yes, Adikshit.
Is it like mood?
Mood.
Mood.
No, that defines, these gunas define your mood actually. Yes, Athar, you wanted to say something. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Okay. So it is very, very similar to a combination of R, G and B. That is all. Okay. Just in this case, it is not red, green and blue, but let's label them as say something like white, gray and black. Okay. Sattva is very close to the most positive, vibrant, doing good activities. Okay. Then you have what is called Rajasika Guna, which is the grayish area, where you'll be very tempted to do a lot of things. You'll be doing it. You'll be always very active. You'll be reactive to a lot of things and responding to a lot of things. Have you heard of these two terms? Reactive versus responding. What is the difference? What happens? What is the difference between reactive and responding?
Sir, responding is when somebody asks you something or tells you something, you should respond to it. And reaction is when something is happening in front of us or we are watching something, then we react to it.
Then you react to it. Okay.
Other person to other person, not us to us.
Okay. Let me take it a little differently. You are absolutely right about it. In the sense, there is necessarily a reaction to every situation that comes to us. Correct? There is something intrinsically that, we feel like doing something. That is the inherent nature that is built in us. You look at something wrong and you get angry at it. Right? But how you respond to it is dependent on a lot of other factors also. Whether you are able to tell it out openly, whether you are able to do it right way, etc., etc. Correct? Let us say somebody comes and praises you. What's your natural reaction to it?
First, I'll ask them why are they praising me?
Why are they praising me? Okay, go on.
And if I already know the reason, then I'll be happy.
If you know the reason, you will be happy. That is a good way of, that's a reaction. See, your reaction was, the first reaction that came to your mind was, why are they praising me? Right? Okay, let's take that from somebody else also. What would you do, Athar?
Sir, I will be like, what did I do so good that they're praising me?
What did I do so good that okay, fine, fantastic, nice. Okay, Shri Hamsini, what would you do if somebody just praised you?
Sir, flex about it.
Huh?
Flex about it.
Flex about it. Why would you do that?
Simply, sir, just show off. Like, I did something, people are praising me. Let it be sarcasm or like normal praising you. Yeah, psych. Great.
Okay, fine. Shriyan, what would you do?
Sir, first I would ask, why are you doing this? And then I would be like, okay, enough. Then the teacher will scold you.
Then the teacher would scold you. All right. Okay. Pranav, what would you do? Okay, we'll look back to Pranav. Neil.
I'll ask them why they're praising me.
Ask them why they are praising you. Okay. Pranav. Okay. Yeah, go on, Neil. You are saying something.
And if I know the reason, I'll just tell them not to praise me.
Not to praise you. Oh my God. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So, okay, this is what you people think that you should do, right? Well, that's a good, that's a way of looking at things. But then this is a quality that is dependent on how we are attuned to certain situations. What is determining this fact that why are you asking questions? Let's say why, what is it that is triggering to ask you that question that, you know, okay, why are they even praising me? What have I done? Right? This is the question that is coming to most people's minds. Everybody is asking this question. Is that right? Pretty much I heard, this is what I heard from pretty much everyone here. Why are you praising me? What have I done? Let me think. Even before you ask that question, this is the subconsciously you're thinking through this, right? So this is a trigger. Now this is triggered by a sort of conditioning in your minds. In the past, somebody has either done a sarcastic joke on you, has passed a sarcastic comment on you, which was not really a praise, or they have been only scolding you and never ever praised you for doing something. Right? Okay, this is what is a conditioned approach to certain things. Now, let me change this something to a more factual thing. Okay, so let us say all of you are writing exams. All of you are very much writing exams, right? Okay, let us say out of what is the typical marks these days that papers are out of? 50 marks, 100 marks? Anybody?
Sir, 100 to 150 max.
100 to 150. Athar, how many marks is the paper for in your school?
80.
Huh? 80. Okay. Fine. Whatever the marks. But all of you can, all of you understand the concept of percentages. The number that you get divided by the total number of marks it is for. Right? Let us say all of you are in some ways getting 98% marks. Okay. What would your reaction be? Natural reaction be to this?
Sir, first out 98 out of 100, right?
98 out of 100, or in Athar's case, it will be 98% of 80, whatever that number is. Right. So that will be something like 79 out of 80.
I'll be happy. I'll be
You'll
happy.
be happy. That's your first reaction. Right? That's because you worked hard, you got that. Yes, Shriyan, why? What would your reaction be?
But after some
these
time,
marks,
I'll check where are my other like two marks are gone.
Where did the 2 marks go? Okay, but first reaction is you are happy. Okay, Shriyan, what about you?
Sir, I would be shocked first. Then
Huh?
I would say, then I would be happy, and then I would see where did my 2 marks go.
Okay. First, you'll be shocked. Why would you be shocked?
Sir, I would be shocked that I got 100% out of 90. I mean 98 out of 100.
You got 98 out of 100. You never got 98 out of 100.
Sir, we don't even have 100.
Okay, then going forward, you should get all 98. Let's see how you will do that.
Sir,
Okay.
I didn't even have 100. If I have 100, then I don't know how much would I have.
Okay, you'll be happy, but still you would be happy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Athar, what about you?
They're almost same thing.
Same. Pranav, what about you? Pranav is not there. Okay, Neil.
Sir, I'd be very happy.
Okay.
I will check my test again to see like where I lost, like where I did the question wrong.
Correct. So this is your instantaneous reaction, right? Sri Hamsini, what about you?
Sir, I'll be okay with whatever I got because it's end of the day, it's my hard work and it's the result of what I got.
Fair enough. But the moment you say 98 or 100 out of 100 in your paper, what will happen to your?
Sir, I'll jump.
You'll jump. You'll get some let's say you'll at least get some satisfaction out of what you got. Correct? Okay. Everybody is saying the same thing. That you are getting some level of satisfied. You are being satisfied with something. Right? So this satisfaction that comes to us because of what we have done. Right? That all these are common features. See, all of you are saying the same things to all the questions that I'm asking. Nobody is saying any different answers to me. Nobody is giving me any different answer at all. Pretty much everybody is giving me the same answer. The first question I asked, what would you do if you are praised? You said, all of you said exactly the same thing. Second question I asked, pretty much everybody is saying the same thing. So there is an inherent driver in us intrinsically that is doing this, that is getting us to do this. This is driven by our gunas. Okay, the very first thing that comes. Then there is a reaction that is external. Okay. Now that reaction is dependent on how well you are attuned to things. So even in the case of when you ask that question, why am I being praised? Initially, you will intrinsically feel okay, good about being praised at some point, if it is not sarcastic. Let us assume it is not sarcastic. Okay. Somebody is not sarcastically praising you. Then you will feel good. First, you will take it as something that has come to you. It will be a good thing. Then some past experience will trigger. No. Probably this person is not doing the right thing. Nobody has praised me so much. Probably there is something wrong. Let me ask why. Is that true? Even with the marks, that's exactly what everybody did. 98. Okay, very good. I'm very happy. But then a few minutes later, I'll go and retrospect where I lost 2 marks.
एकदम चांगलेच पडले.
Correct? So this is sort of driven by our gunas. That intrinsic factor. There is a sattva bhava is what drives this. Okay, there are 3 ways to do getting this. Then there is a reaction that comes out of this response. Sri Hamsini said, I'll jump out of. The Shriyan said, I'll be shocked. Okay. But there is something intrinsically, everyone is happy. Now, this reaction that you give outwardly is what is driven by the gunas. Okay. If you are a very sattvic person, there is a lot of sattva in you. That is the highest end of sattva is there in you. Then it will be a very different reaction, where you will say, okay, I'm very happy. Let me see how well I can do it, how much more what I can do, and you will be it's not that you will not be happy. You will definitely be happy. Let us say you are a rajasic person. You will need a lot of rajas. You'll jump, you'll celebrate, you'll go about doing a lot of things, You'll be very, very happy about it. Take it that way and explicitly showcase things. Let us say you're a very Rajasic person, or sorry, very Tamasic person. Then you'll get into that, I don't care about this. Let me go into a cynical mode. It does not matter to me. How the hell is it happening? So these are the three gunas that are driving our behavior in a lot of ways. Now, can we change them to become something better? Is the next question, no? There is something that is driving all of us. That is intrinsic, that you can't help. That is going to be there with us. Now, the way to do that is what comes with how do I come up with it? How do I make some ways where I can be good? Okay, out of this, which one is it that you think is driving you people? Let's look at that. And why? Give me some instances why you think that is driving you. You understand the concept of sattva, rajas, and tamas? There is one thing, one which will be dominant, the others will be sort of helping it, and the third one will be very not be present. So that's how the gunas work. Let's see. Let's start with who? Athar, yes.
What, sir?
I said, do you understand what guna is sort of driving you?
Yes.
So there is nothing like with this is a good guna, this is a bad guna, this is the right guna, this is the wrong guna, nothing like that. We'll define those things, how you can make each of them to do the follow the right dharma around things. Okay. But yeah, what do you think is driving you?
Mostly I think
Huh?
sattva.
Sattva. Okay. Why do you think so? You'll have to give me one instance why you think so.
Sir, because I'll be really happy and then I will find out why my 2 marks gone, or else next time I will say that next time I will get 100 out of 100 because
Okay. Now let us say, what would you do if we were expecting some 80 marks and then you got 40 marks?
Sir, mostly I'll be sad, but then I'll say it happened, so then I'll leave it.
No, what will your reaction be? I agree, you will feel sad. Sad is a natural, this one, that will come, that is intrinsic. That's a given.
Sir, I'll feel a little happy and then I'll feel sad and then I'll feel okay, level.
Okay, what if somebody scolds you?
Sir, then I will feel the emotion.
Right? What would you do? You would tell them, would you justify your action? Would you say, no, let me introspect and justify? Or let us say somebody scolds you for something that is not your fault. What would you do?
Sir, I would tell them that this is not my fault. Why are you scolding me? No.
You'll say that upfront, you'll say that, correct? Yes, good. Right. So fine. Okay, give me situations. Don't give me what is Rajasic, what is Tamasic, and we'll think about all those. Technical terms we'll leave later. But give me instances, how you would react to these situations. Let us say somebody is scolding you for something that is not your fault. What would you do? Okay, as you said, as Athar said, yes, I will tell them back that it is not my fault. And then I'll convince them it is not my fault. Correct? That's what you will do. Okay. Now, Adikshit, question for you.
Sir, I think I'm Rajasa because if I get good marks, I'll be happy. But if I get sad marks, I will be I mean low marks. Then I'll be sad, and then I'll be improving. I'll improve what I have done wrong.
Okay. What if somebody slaps you for no reason?
Mm, if they do it hardly or if they do it all the time and irritate me, I'll slap them back. Or if they slap me, then I'll tell them why did you do it and all, or I'll slap them back.
Okay. This is your thoughts of what you are. That's okay. As in, we'll just discuss the situations. We'll not get into whether you are Rajasic, Tamasik, and Sattvic and all. We'll talk about that later. Okay. So, okay, this is a good. Okay, this is what you would do. Okay, Neil, what would you do?
If I got full marks on a test, I would have been I think Sat what Sat
You will sulk.
yeah
Mhm.
and then like if I got like 40, I'd be between Sattvic and Rajasic.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay, what if somebody just calls you, or if somebody just comes and says, "Hey, you are not supposed to be here. You are useless."
Mm. Between Sattvic and Rajasic, but mostly to the Rajasic side on that maybe.
Mhm. No, I'm not asking about Sattvic, Rajasic. That's a judgment call. That's we'll not make judgment calls. We'll just talk about how you would react to something, somebody coming and saying, "Hey, you are useless."
Well, I would have told them like that I'm not useless.
You are not useless. Okay, and how would you prove that? How would you make that point?
Tell them like
Yeah, would you politely tell them, "Hey, you know what? I'm not useless, one," or would you say, "Look, I'm not useless. You better make yourself right,"
yeah, like that.
like that? Perfect. Very good. Okay, then Shreya.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what would you do?
Sir, if I got very low marks, I would
Mhm.
actually be very sad, and then I would try to improve my marks. And
Mhm.
then if someone tells me, if someone tells me useless or slaps me, if they slap me, I slap them back and tell why did you slap me. Then I
Okay.
would attend to the teacher.
Mhm.
Then if someone tells me I'm useless, I am not useless. I have proof. Do you have proof that you are not useless? I would ask.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Shriyamsini, your turn.
Sir, I am 33 1 by 3 of everything, sir.
33
Which means
1 by 3 of everything. Okay.
everything.
No, no,
33
no.
1 by 3%
As
of
I
everything, sir.
said, as I said, we'll not make that judgment call of who is Rajasic, who is Tamasic, who is Sattvic, and all. We'll
Sir,
just
I get less marks. I'll be like a bit chalo yaar, it's normal. Don't care about it. Just leave. Next time we'll do some jugaad and get passing marks.
Jugaad and do get passing marks. Okay, that's something new. Fine.
Okay, and then if I have been bullied, I almost speak like a lawyer, which is India wants to know why. Okay, like Adab Goswami, that is one example.
Mhm.
Then probably I am not. I mean, in different locations, I have different types of behavior. Like in home, I have a separate avatar of mine. In
Mhm.
school, in front of teachers, I have a separate avatar of mine. With my friends, I have a separate avatar of mine. So it keeps changing. So if I would like to tell, I am practically lazy, but when it comes to work, I even try to squeeze in between many things to finish it. So,
Fantastic.
like, I would say that if someone tries to bully me or praise me, sarcasm or normal, I take it to chill pill. I don't care. You do whatever you want. It's at the end of the day, you're sarcastic. It's your headache. They're praising me. Thank you very much. Or if
Okay.
you're bullying me, I won't accept it. You keep the bullying it to yourself. So.
Okay. Thank you. Very good. Now you opened up a very good line of conversation here. So, Athar, let's start again with you. Hamsini said she behaves differently at home and differently at school. Is that true with you also?
It's the same here.
Same, yes. You also have a different way of behaving at home and a different way of behaving at school. Okay. Adikshit,
So it'll be like the same behavior. If people be bad to me, I'll be bad to them.
No, no,
the
that is not the question. I got that. That point you already made very clear in your previous this one. So, do you behave differently with your friends and differently with at home with your parents, with everybody else?
not really. Like we talk differently, but like different things and ideas play others. But I do the same behavior at
Pretty
home.
much the same thing. Okay. So basically, you are saying that I'll be more respectful at home to the elders and everyone. When I'm with friends, I'll be pretty much a little more. I'll be free. I'll not be. I'll be behaving as with my friends. But pretty much, if there is something that comes up, I'll react the same way to both my parents as well as to them. Correct? Okay. Very good. Shriyan, what about you?
Sir, I act different from my school to my house, and also with my friends also I act different. With my
Okay.
friends means I will be like free. In
Huh.
school means like in front of teachers means I behave proper. Even in front of my parents also I would speak with respect and I would speak politely.
Correct. So, no, the question is not that, Shriyan. Shriyan, I think you need to understand this a little differently. You will be very clear with your parents. Of course, you'll be respectful to your elders, whether it's your teachers or your parents. That is okay. And with your friends, you'll be a little more jovial and free and everything.
Yes,
But
sir.
let's say you have to do something. Is your behavior, when I
Yes,
say
sir.
behavior,
Behavior is different, sir.
is the same with both. You'll be pretty much yourself with both the way you are. You're not going to put an overtly cover of yourself and behave differently with different people.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
Neil, what about you?
Well, I am kind of different, like when at home and at school. At school, when I talk to my friends, I talk differently than how I talk at home. And when I'm at home, I have shorter temper with my siblings.
Very good. So these are qualities, the way we react to certain things. This is what is our character. Correct? To any given situation. So character is something that reveals itself or when you are put into a situation. Okay? It could be a tense situation, it could be a nice situation, it could be a pleasant situation, it could be an unpleasant situation, whatever it is. Okay? Now there are things that make us do these things. Okay? These are inherently wired in us to some extent. These can be changed over a period of time by the way we do our actions. That is the other component which brings us to this world. That is the karma. So there are two concepts that define us while we come into life. One is karma, the other one is guna. Guna, loosely you can translate it as the thing that you get over generations from your parents, your grandparents, ancestor, genealogy, what Sri Amsini defined as genealogy. The karma component is purely yours, what you have done in the past. Nobody can do anything about that. You are yourself, only you are responsible for it. And that decides what sort of a genealogy you need to get into as well, in a lot of ways. Okay. So these two together is what brings you into this world called life. So Adikshit had asked a very important question. Who is God? How was God created? Correct? So this question, we sort of, Meera madam answered this in the last class before, actually. Okay. That we will discuss a little more and get into the practical aspect of it from in the next class when she will do some more meditation sessions. Okay. So take God as some form of, We all know how the government of India functions, or let's not, let's forget government of India. We all know how a corporate functions. All your parents work in some company, correct? Some organization, right? In that organization, how does it work? Your parents may be managers or directors or super managers, whatever they are, right? Senior managers, directors, senior directors, CEOs, CXOs, whatever, right? In all companies, we have a structure. Is that true? You have this, you have the CEO, there will be some vice presidents, then there will be directors, then there will be managers, then there will be workers. Is that true? Everybody knows the structure. Anybody has questions about the structure in a company? Anybody who has thoughts, any doubts about it? Athar, Shriyan?
No, sir.
No, everybody understands the hierarchy of a company, quote unquote hierarchy of a company.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, in the organization, there is a CXO, then there is then there is a vice president, then there is a director, everything. Now, that person, whoever is occupying that post, is only in that office. Correct? That person is also your parent or parents. That person is also a brother, sister, son, uncle, whatever, auntie, whatever. Correct? Is that true? Take this whole framework of gods that we have in the concept. There are so many gods, no? In our, you have Narasimha, you have Vishnu, you have Ishvara, you have Brahma, everything. Okay? Take them as some hierarchy of this whole thing made to make sure the world is working properly. That is one concept of framework where you can associate a name and a form to the god. Is that true? Narasimha. Anybody who knows who is Narasimha?
Sure.
Yes. Yeah, Narasimha is someone who has the body of a human being but the face of a lion. Sorry?
I said lion only.
Lion, absolutely. Right. Then you have something like Indra. Then you have Vayu, Varuna. So Varuna is, for instance, the Adipati or the person responsible for all the water. Right? So let's say the water resource ministry is handled by Varuna. Can I say that?
Sir, then what is Water Corporation Office for, sir?
What is Water Corporation Office is to get that whatever Varuna has given to get it to your house. Right? Varuna is only able to get you rain and fill the river. From the river to your house, it has to come in some way. So they will all have to work. If Varuna is not there, then these people have no job. Or rather, we will all be thirsty. That's it. Okay. Similarly, Vayu, the Adi Devata for all the air that is circulating, all the flow of air that is happening all around, because of which we have oxygen that comes in and we are able to do it. We are able to breathe and digest and live this life. Okay. So like this, we have a lot of gods which are endowed with certain, not rights, but responsibilities. Their power comes because they are able to perform these responsibilities well. Sun has a huge responsibility. Can we imagine life without sun?
The whole life will be full night and it'll be so cold, freezing.
First
Sir,
of all,
but
this is
instead
the
of
life.
sun, there
Yeah.
should have been another planet possible.
Sir,
No.
you will not even be alive because plants need photosynthesis. Means sunlight has to come for photosynthesis.
That is one aspect.
Sir, and sun is one source of gravity because the earth rotates around the sun.
Correct.
It would be a rogue planet. You go everywhere. You won't
Correct. First of all, is life even possible without sun?
No, sir.
Forget life. Is anything possible without sun on this earth?
Think, sir.
So sun is the most primordial source of everything for us, as for everything on this earth. It is the most unique thing that has happened to all of us, and we are all blessed to have sun. That's why the most important gratitude that we perform in all our karyas, in everything that we do in our as our daily chore, is the first thing that we do is wake up and say, hey, thank you so much, Mr. Sun. Suryaha, Mitraha. Even the there's a concept called Sandhya Vandanam. How many of you know that? Adikshit knows it. Okay. This Sandhya, do you understand this word Sandhya? What is Sandhya?
Evening.
Evening is Sandhya. Okay. Any other answers?
Sir, what is the meaning of Sandhya in the context of Kausalya, Supraja, Rama, Purva, Sandhya, Pravartate?
Sandhya, very good question. Absolutely right. Kausalya, Supraja, Rama, Purva, Sandhya, Pravartate. Uttishta Nashardula, Kartavyam, Daivam, Anhikam. Correct? This is there in the Ramayana. I'll explain this. This is a very important question that you have asked.
Sir, sage Vishwamitra will tell when.
Rama, to wake up Sri Rama. That's what it starts. That's how it starts. Absolutely right. So, Sandhya, the word Sandhya is coming from the root word Sandhi. Something that is meeting. Sandhi means meeting of some two things. Shriya, yes.
Sir, I actually have to go to a different place. So can I?
Sure. You can drop this.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Okay. So Sandhi is a combination of two things. Any two things. Okay. The Sandhya comes because of that. Sandhya, there are two Sandhyas joining together. Absolutely right, me. Joining together of two things.
But sir, what does this Sandhya and Sandhya Vandanam mean?
Yeah, I will come to Sandhya Vandanam a little in a minute. But Sandhya itself means joining of two things. There are three Sandhyas in a given 24-hour cycle. One is when the sun is rising. Okay, that is the time when darkness and light, there's a twilight, if I were to say so. Okay, that is the time when the darkness is fading away and light is just coming in. Okay, that is the dawn, not the twilight, sorry. Dawn in the morning. Then there's a twilight in the evening when the sun is setting. That is the Sandhya. Then the afternoon period. Why is that called a Sandhya?
So the sun is right on top of our heads.
Fair enough. Why is it called Sandhya? What is joining there?
Sir, the dawn and not dawn and the morning and evening.
No, that is not what is joining. So the sun is moving from the eastern part to the western part. That is why you are on that dot. Right? That is a Sandhya. Now at these three times, what we do, We say, hey, you sun, you are the greatest thing that has happened to us, and it's only because of you that we are here. So thank you so much for whatever you have done for us. So at this time, we welcome the sun in the morning. Or rather, yeah, sun rises is because of the earth's rotation. We all know that. But we say, yes, thank you so much for that one more day that you have given us. At the peak of the day, you say again, thank you. At the evening, again, thank you so much. You have made my day well today. Or whatever the day has gone. And then you again say thank you. This is the Sandhya. And the Vandanam part, Vandanam, means to pay our gratitude. Whenever you pay your gratitude to someone, expressing gratitude.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Namaskar is a form of Vandana. That is paying our gratitude. This is that Anjali Mudra. Anjali is correct, no, Miraji?
Anjali only, sir.
Yeah, Anjali Mudra. So this you will always do, and we say thank you so much. And there are various ways of doing this. One of the ways is saying, hey, thank you, I will do this through water. Another way is saying, I will do this through Vayu, air. Multiple ways of doing it, but the concept is very simple and core. That we need to remember that sun is the primordial source of everything for us. And 3 times in a day, we just bow down to that sun and say, thank you so much. Multiple ways we do it. Okay. That is the Vandana that we do need. That is why it is called Sandhya Vandana. At the time when there is a Sandhi, whenever there is something, when there is a change that is happening, we do that Vandana. Okay. So this is what we are doing. That is the most important aspect in every human being's life. Whether you like it or not, whether you are there or not, the sun has never asked you to do that. But then it is we think it's our duty. That is the whole idea of this whole Sanatana Dharma. That we say, hey, you there, Mr. Sun, we are very thankful to you. That's why we are offering all our prayers, all our gratitudes to you first. That's the first thing that we do. Only after that you start everything else. Of course, before that you purify yourself. That is by taking bath and physically you do all those things and then you do this. Then you ask him for the energy. Please radiate that energy in me so that I can do all the activities for the day. That is the second concept. Yes, Shriyamji.
Sir, in abroad countries like Netherlands, Paris and all, sometimes water is not there, sir. They put perfume to purify themselves, sir. Then how will they pray to sun, sir?
Okay,
So
first,
practically they haven't taken bath during winter because it will be in a -degree over there.
fair enough. So, first and foremost thing, perfume does not purify you. There's a difference between purifying you and covering yourself with a blanket of perfume and saying, I am smelling well, I am smelling good.
Sir, I didn't mean to say perfume. I mean purify, sir. I mean to say that they don't have another choice but to wear perfume, sir.
Agree. So yeah, that's the concept they have developed because it's so cold out there at -20 degrees. If you have to heat water, the kind of energy that is required to heat water, take a bath, do things is a costly affair. Right? It's not like they probably, I don't know whether they want to take bath or not, but it's a different story. But the thing is, they are not taking bath for some reason. Better example, take the case of polar bears, hibernating animals. What do? They eat so much in the summer and they go to hibernation and they
Sir, but below the polar bear skin, there's a black layer which keeps them warm.
Yeah, they keep it warm, but they don't hunt or eat anything when they're hibernating. They digest everything that they have eaten so far. They become so thin and fragile by the time just the summer comes up. Right? So that's why we should be very grateful that we are born in a country like Bharata. where the sun is visible to us 365 days a year with not so much extremes, right? And we can pray every single morning that, hey, you're there, give me that energy. Thank you so much, you're around. So that is the first blessing that we should all count.
Sir, in Antarctica, there is 6 months morning and 6 months night.
Correct. Absolutely. So that is another case why nobody can live there. In the polars, yes, absolutely right, Neil. That's why nobody can live in Antarctica or Arctic circles unless you
Sir,
are
in Arctic region, habitation is possible, sir, because it's there on the northern side, so mild rays of the sun may fall, but southern polar region is not possible.
Southern, it's not at all possible. That is because you are you are farthest away from the sun when there is winter, and you are nearest to the sun when it is.
But
Yes.
sir, basically, I've seen stories of people that live in those areas where like night life.
I agree. So there are the Nordics. For instance, even we don't need to go so much to the northern pole. Even the Nordics, for instance, those who live in say extreme north, even the Russia's uppermost, the northernmost tip of Russia, they are also cut off for 6 months. In
Sir,
fact,
that Verhorn Sky and something.
yes, one horn sky is there. There's only one bus service that goes through. That river is frozen, and that bus service goes on ice from all the way from this Vladivostok to that North Pole. Right. So yes, those conditions are there. But what we need to remember is it is not as inhabited and as prosperous as what we are doing here today. Right? They have their own difficulties. They are not as blessed as we are to say, we have so much of things here. Okay, we will eat and we will enjoy. They have to make do with whatever they get, whatever they are able to hunt. That's it. Okay. They are so much dependent on so many others. That is one very key important thing. You're absolutely right about it. It's very difficult to get there and stay there, live there. Denmark is another good example. You get only 4 hours of sun in winter. It's hardly 2-3 hours. Okay, so it's very, very difficult. If you go there and stay there in winters, it's not easy at all.
Sir, in Alaska, we get sun only for half an hour to 45 minutes.
Yes, Alaska is another extreme case. Right? We all know how difficult they are. It's only.
Sir, but the northern lights are beautiful, sir.
Huh?
Sir, but the northern lights there, it's beautiful, sir.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going there for a week and enjoying it, it's very beautiful, of course. But if you have to stay there for your life, if you're born there, there's a difference, right? That's why we should count our blessing. And that's where we should really count our blessing. Okay. We'll continue this discussion on this Sattva, Rajas and Tamoguna in the next Tuesday's class. Friday class, Meera madam will do a good session on more deeper session on meditation. So this is the way Adikshit, the gods are there. We'll discuss more on what is above these gods as well. How did they come into being also? Later on.
Okay. So maybe the Gunas, if I can add a couple of sentences.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah. So this about Gunas, somebody asked what is the use of learning Bhagavad Gita, scriptures, right? Somebody had posed that question, right? Is it Sri Hamsini? Why should we learn Gita, right?
The use of learning.
What is the use of learning Bhagavad Gita? So this Gita, very, very clearly Krishna talks about Gunas in that. One more thing why we should know about Gunas is, as Karthik ji was mentioning, like about polar bears, about Arctic places, and all these places, they're very cold and we are very fortunate to be born in this country, all that. At the same time, we should also understand we are fortunate to be born as human beings. You just imagine a bear or an animal born in a certain place. It has no scope of improvement with respect to its intelligence. It will not use too much of its intelligence. Like if you see a man going and staying there, he would have developed some 100 technologies how to protect himself from that. But the animal, how does the animal differ from a human being? How does the animal differ? It has very basic protective mechanisms. Like, for example, a polar bear will go into hibernation. It will eat and it will sleep because it can't withstand that kind of weather. It will eat, and the nature has provided it the quality, that ability where it can sustain itself by eating and sleeping for 6 months and waking up after that. That's the only thing it can do. A human being in that case, if he is given some quality like sleep also, we utilize that and we use 3 hours extension of that sleep, and we will start working to improve our, we think of something else. Even we compromise on that. We have gone against nature. We also use our mind to work for us. We can use the mind to go against us. We can use the mind to work for us. So Krishna in the Gita, he says very clearly that you cannot think of even a single thing in this creation which is not made of gunas. There is nothing in creation which you can think of which is not made of gunas. Everything is a mixture of this rajas, sattva and tamas. Sattva, rajas, tamas. Sattva, rajas, tamas. It's a mixture of all these three things. So how does human being understand this and go beyond this? This capability is available only in humans, because the mind is that which is very strong and powerful, which gives this capacity to a human being to go beyond gunas. Other things, they don't do harm to us. They are all aiding us to live in this world. Like a sun is required, a plant is required, animals are required, stars are required, planets are required. Those gunas, whatever is associated with a particular planet, it will not harm anybody. It's there to aid the creation. But a guna in a human being can harm others. If he is not training himself properly, a tamasic person can be very harmful to the society. Laws and stuff can be made only after he commits a crime, he can be punished. For him not to commit a crime, it is very difficult unless he is not trained to think that way. Laws will help only after he commits a crime. And maybe it will instill a little bit of fear in people that we should not do, but still very good chance that the man can go beyond that fear and commit, because he has a free will to do so. Whereas all the other things in the planet, you think of anything in the planet, it doesn't have the free will to do whatever it wants. It has been created in a certain way and it will only aid to the creation. Its qualities will aid to the creation. That is why you don't have to make a law for a tree. You don't have to have a court and a police station to punish a tree. A tree has fallen on the road because the rains were high, heavy. Nobody goes and they give a charge sheet to the tree saying that, oh, you have committed a crime, you should come to court tomorrow. Nobody does that, right? We don't do that, right? Because somehow subconsciously we have accepted that we are intelligent beings, and those plants, they have whatever intelligence is just aiding the creation. It is not going against the creation. It is we people who are spoiling that. So Guna subject, as Karthik Mahodaya was saying, is a very, very important subject. Each one of us have to understand it. Why? Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why Gunas have to be understood very clearly? Because in whatever combinations we are made, we have the free will to change that combination to some extent. You understand? Are you trying to get my point? Like if there is a 33, as Sri Hamsini was saying, 33 point something, 33 point something, 33 point something, I take it that way. That is a very balanced state, which is very, very difficult to achieve. Very, very difficult. that cannot be achieved as you are in the body, because body has a tendency to actually fluctuate. You can never have an ideal situation with respect to body and mind. But the intelligence can be, I mean, you can understand things so clearly with knowledge through scriptures that that knowledge will prevent you from, dwindling. You can go above these three gunas. Body may be a little bit here and there, 35%, another 34, another little bit lesser. It can be rajas, tamas, and this thing combination. So when you are not intelligent enough, when you don't think through scriptures, when you don't have a guru, you'll just go by what the gunas are telling you. Like if you're very tamasic, you'll just sleep till 10 o'clock, even if you have school. Tamasic is feeling lazy, lethargic, not thinking of the consequences. Using some methods to make our mind go into a sleepful state and think that it is bliss. Like people who take intoxicants. You all understand the meaning of intoxicants? Yeah. People take all kinds of medicines, drugs, intoxicants because they want to delude themselves saying that this is the happiest state because they can't handle it. This is a pure tamasic state. Whereas a sattva person, he'll work on it. He'll understand what the problem is and he'll start working on it. He'll use his free will properly. You understand the difference? He knows for sure that all these intoxicants are going to cause harm to me. I have no right to harm my body. I have an intelligence which is much sharper, which I can use to go above these gunas. Even though I am made of all these things, my intelligence can take me beyond this. I can do better. So that is, he uses is whatever, if he is highly rajasic, he'll use it for his benefit. He'll use that quality for his benefit. So whatever you are made of, you will use for your benefit and the benefit of others, that is sattva. Whatever you are made of, you use it for your benefit, harming others or creating harm to yourself is rajas. Whatever you are made of, you use it to harm yourself completely and you are in a delusion that you are happy. That is sattva, tamas. You are constantly in a delusion that I am happy. But you are very careless about your work. You think that carelessness is happiness. You are not bothered about perfection and all. You have a free will, you know you are intelligent enough, but why should I put so much effort? I'll do something to make sure the results are happening fine. This is tamas, quality of tamas. Because always action can be very difficult when you take it up. It's called Shreyo Marga. Very difficult. But the result it will take you to will be very conducive. Preyo Marga. Preyo is something I use shortcuts. Prayas is something I use shortcuts to get a result. That is a tamasic quality. And a rajasic also. Some shade of rajas and tamas. Shreyo Marga is I am put under some kind of difficulty because if I have to get up early, if I have to spend some time, if I have to study, if I have to go to school regularly, if I have to give up and sacrifice my TV time, my media time in order to get something, what I am aiming at, it's a Shreyo Marga. That can happen only if your sattva qualities are high. A discipline comes only to a sattva person. For a rajas and a tamas person, it takes some lot of effort to get disciplined. So it's like you have oil on your hands. How will you clean that oil? Oil is like tamas. It is very sticky. It sticks us to sleep. It sticks us to very comfort, lot of comfort. All that. It is very sticky. How will you remove this oil?
Soap.
You can't remove it with water. Water is rajas. You directly, water is sattva. Directly, you can't put water on this to remove. So you have to use soap. Soap is like rajas. So anybody who is very lethargic have to get up and work out. That is why we recommend people who are highly lethargic They should get up, work out, do Surya Namaskaras. That is the importance of yoga in our system. Do Surya Namaskaras, praying to Surya. Who is Surya? Surya is the one who never misses his time. Waking and, setting and sunrise, everything is so punctual. He is a dharmic devata. He is not only outside, he is within us. That Surya element is what is causing digestion to us. That heat in the body. Hamsini, I can see that. Question mark.
Well, but if Surya is punctual, then the sun should be rotating around the earth, but the earth is revolving around the sun on its own axis. Right?
Sun also has movement with respect to other.
But
just a minute, hang on. Adikshit, yes, you can leave. There is no more this one. Yeah, anybody who is in a hurry to leave can leave actually.
Yes, sir, I need to.
Thank you.
Please, next class will continue, okay?
Continue on.
Karthik Mahodaya, you can end with the prayer.
Yeah. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavadaha.